I think before the course, I was only doing maybe 80 to 100 orders a month. So really weak. And now I'm doing like 350 orders a month.
Mm.
So it's just gone through like, I think I'm on 55K for the month, which is huge compared to my before the course. I'm excited because it's winter in Australia, which is my primary market, and usually I do really good around Christmas. So I'm pretty excited I can get these results in this time of year. I've got used to it, but I got surprised by the number of orders. Like I always used to go, "Oh, man, I wish I could get 10 orders a day. I
Mm.
wish I could get 10 orders a day. Imagine if I did 30K months and stuff like that." And then when you hit them, it kind of it feels cool, but you forget about it, and then you're like, "All right, the next target, the
Yeah.
next target." And it's surprised me that I got there, not paying a marketer. It's easier than I thought. Once you get it very simple, um, and have a bit of a system, it's really easy. Anyone can do it. If you learn where to focus daily and how to identify problems because you know how to identify the problems, not because you're asking people. You can see something's wrong there, and then you can use your skills from the course to backtrack and test and find out. That's so valuable because you're always going to come up with problems going forward. And whether it's this business or it's your next business, um, I feel like it relays over to it. You get put in the prime position to achieve your goal of whatever that is, whether it's making X amount per year or growing into the United States or whatever you want to do. But it puts you in really good stead for that. It was about 3 years in business, nearly, on a bit 3 years in business, and I'd experienced uh, like a few marketers, but I never really gave it the attention it deserved. Um, I just thought there's other more important things in the business to worry about. I got an agency from the Gold Coast to me. I got recommended them from someone, and they did exactly what I was warned about. They put me onto an intern with minimal experience, saying like the wrong things about my brand, and had like a head honcho dude that would still come in. And I knew deep down, I was like, this sucks. But then I was such a small brand that I wasn't making that much money. So they kind of let you know that you're kind of low when they've got big brands.
Mhm.
You take what you can get. And then I just was so, I hated, they wanted me to give them the creatives and guide their copy and review all their stuff, which at the time when I was paying them, I was like, this is unfair. Like, this is your job. These are my numbers. You need to produce this. You still want me to pull the creators, still do the copy. So what, you're going to just turn it on? But I was so busy in my head at that time that I was trying to do everything else that I was just like, oh, all right, use this. And then they get you sales, but then because of their fee and then your margin, I wasn't making much. And then yeah, it was cold then, and it was a bit disappointing because I was like, maybe I don't have a product fit. Maybe it's
Mm.
maybe it's my product that's the problem here. And so then I'd go into hustle mode and I wouldn't advertise for 3 or 4 months and just pluck revenue out of wherever I could find. And I kind of gave up on marketing a little bit. I was just too expensive. You get your counting at the end of the year and see how much you're spending on ads and your revenue. And I was lucky to have wholesale as a good backup, but my e-commerce is probably breaking even, if not maybe making a little bit. But my wholesale would carry me. And it's kind of getting through grids and stuff like that. Yeah, I just kind of thought the future was e-commerce, and I knew I had the right product. I knew it was a good product to get hardly any returns. It was a market fit, but I just didn't know how to. Yeah, I was just struggling, like seeing some of my friends' brands um, doing really, really well. And even a mate that, probably that I personally thought, I was like, oh, I didn't know that was a market fit, and they're doing really, really well. And I was like, well, okay. And
Mm.
then, yeah, I suppose it was almost that last call, to be honest. I was like, well, I've got to do something here. Otherwise, I am not sure where, do I get another marketer? Very skeptical at the
Mm.
start, but also a bit optimistic because I needed it to work. So you were kind of like skeptical, but you knew that that was not going to get you anywhere. Um, but I suppose you just doubt yourself and you doubt the
Mm.
products and you doubt, um, yeah, just all the usual things that you're probably going through. Um, but yeah, you surprise yourself once you learn. The number one thing is when you learn what your most valuable task is, and you do that really, really well. And that is literally producing the money. So you need to be able to learn what's that task, and that's getting sales through the door and then making changes of the KPIs so that you're running profitably. So, and when there's a job, I'm still doing a bit too much like everyone, but when there's a job that's not relevant, like I handed my social media over
Mm.
and all the comments and hired a VA for 40 hours a week. Since doing that, that's been a game changer as well because you realize how much it doesn't matter social media, organic posts, and
Mm.
you spend a lot of time on that when you can automate that and you can get someone who's a little bit more skillful and creative and likes being on a phone and doing that and pay them and it's still good because you do get a lot of organic sales, but then you can pull that content for ads. So it's very important. Social media, very important. But yeah, it's not a task as a business owner you should be doing. I like the Compass, the Excel spreadsheet. It's very simple and it's good entering the data in and every day and just looking at the key KPIs, which I knew the KPIs from another course, similar KPIs, but they didn't have it set out like that. Very simple, Shopify friendly. Um, so that was kind of encouraging each day to just keep seeing the progress daily and like be like, oh shit, my opt-in rate's poor. What could that be? Could that be I'm getting the wrong audience, or is it because there's my incentive to sign in is poor, or let's test something. Okay, let's try a better offer for my incentive. Did that work? 4 or 5 days later, oh, it did. Okay, that's my incentive. So like being able to isolate problems with um, cause and effect was pretty cool. And then the community's always going to come up. I didn't put too much value towards these communities from my previous course because it was like a Facebook page and it was it was a little bit like just the posts were very amateur, like rookies like myself that were doing a lot of questions, and you're like, I want more expert advice, and I think that's why you guys did a good job. Is you need that instant feedback and redirect if you're thinking something that's not relevant, and they get back to you and say, I think you should be focusing on this, and they give you a loom or a short answer, which is really good. I've actually got wholesale orders from doing online. So yeah, just broadening your audience and just streamlining my wholesale so you can actually do it through Shopify and also get them to sign up on your website that are ready to go. Whereas before it was a lot of manual emails and cold calls, which I just didn't really like until you do business long enough to realize you can see your money coming in and out. Then you start to realize, okay, if I spend X amount of hours on this task, how much that actually produce for me. You come up with an answer after doing that. You could spend all day on social media or like admin tasks of like doing your stock check and doing all sorts of things like affiliate reach outs and all that, which are good, but they don't produce you for money. Like I think someone said to me, I think my product's really good for affiliates, and I've got a few, and it brings in sales. Once, I reckon I get an affiliate sale, not much, but I reckon I get maybe nearly one a week, and
Mhm.
that's free essentially, and you're getting content out of it. But the reality is one a week, and then I think I asked someone, I was like, should I just get 100 affiliates? Should I be putting my attention like, if I got all these affiliates, I'm going to get so much content. And then it's just going to sit there, especially on YouTube, and it's just going to sit there, and I can just pull the content from their review or whatever they did. And then, it'll be good. But then I can't remember who actually put it in my head, but they're like, well, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, and you can face that later down the track when you're 100 grand a month. But right now, do you think that's going to be where your time is worth spent? Whereas right now, you could spend 6 hours a day and trying to work out your creatives and your approach, which is now producing me 2 grand a day. So therefore, 6 hours for 2 grand a day, or 6 hours for no sales. That's kind of you just you work that out what your high leverage task is. The best thing about actually coming back to the course is, as much as you don't want to learn it because you think you can always pay someone to do it, you need to learn it, because that made me learn more about my customer, what creatives are actually producing the sales. So you get something viral on TikTok, but you run that as an ad and that doesn't get any sales, but then you pluck a video that got 100 likes, but it gets you 12 sales. So then you learn, oh, why did this one? Oh, because the viral one went because it looks sick, but this one tells you about the product and shows you how to use it. So this one's going
Mhm.
to work and get you the sales. And if you do that, then you can go, well, free, like, let's get 10 more of these styles and try some other audience similar around them. And I don't think you'll get that with an agency, because generally they just want to run ads and don't do the creatives and the copy. And if they do, they're going to charge you for it. Whereas you should just be doing it all yourself. If you're not where you want to be, and you're confused and you're waking up every day and not sure what tasks you should be focusing on, and worried about where your money's coming in day to day, I would say this course was for you.